Because I can't get my headphones on if I don't have, this
We didn't think
on
this through properly.
These are things that no radio school can teach you and warn you about. But we will move on. We will move on. Happy Halloween. And we're joined in the studio. I know that our two guests, yes, they are having a hard time keeping the laughs in. Feel free to laugh, but we like to welcome into the studio the two co-founders. There's a third, I do believe, but the two of them are in here. We've got Ting Joscelin as well as Joscelin Yo from Into the Wild into the studio. And
hello. Morning.
And they also joined in the fun with us.
Yes, they have dressed up.
We actually thought, oh my God, are you okay, Ting?
Because Ting Jin
is really committed, guys.
They're all strapped up, and we thought, oh my gosh, what's happening?
Yeah, because Ting Jin came with an arm sling, like as if she's like fractured her arm or her shoulder or something like that. And I seriously thought, what are you doing here? You should be at home resting. And she's like, why? It's part of my costume. And I'm like, yeah, that's a nice positive perspective. She's like, no, really, it is a costume. I'm like, okay. And Joscelin has a bandage around her bicep.
And her knee.
And her knee.
I told you, Carol, I'm committed to this. Come on.
Yeah,
okay.
method acting. I love it. Yes.
I love it. All right.
Camp casualties.
We are all dressed up. Even our producer Joel is dressed up. I'm going to be a bit stiff because I am a painting. I'm a masterpiece after all. That's what my grandmother just always called me. You're a masterpiece. Now I finally am. All right. We want to talk about this really great company you set up, Into the Wild. It's all about bringing kids into the wild. Can you share with us what Into the Wild is all about and how did this venture come to be?
Well, this all started a couple of years ago now. So I have 3 sisters. I'm one of 4. And between all my sisters, they've got 8 kids. And, I've always taken them out on adventures, climbing through the longgangs, catching fish, and kind of like going into the jungle. And Joss has 4 kids, and she's always done the same with her kids. Mm-hmm. And so we've always had friends who see us, in our posts, and they're like, oh, could you take my kids with you? When's your next adventure? Could my kids come?
Right.
And so we decided, why not put some structure around that and really create a program that we could take kids through. And instead of just taking them out and into the wild, but actually, teach them specific skill sets that would be useful for them. And in the case, for us, we focused then on wilderness first aid. I was working in the ambulance for a few years. Joss, of course, with her Olympic background, brings in a big grit and resilience piece. And with that combined, we started Into the Wild.
And you've never looked back.
Churning out, little superheroes and rescue squad is growing.
I like how it's also organic. It came from a place of what you were already doing. Yeah. And it's you're right. It's absolutely something I think a lot of kids should be on board about because we're in a digital age, social media, tablets and all that. And do you find that a lot of kids are not quite familiar as to what to do when they're in the wild, in nature?
Yeah, 100%. I think we always have kids that get out there and they're like, how do I step over this muddy puddle? It's like,
life's big questions.
Just step into it, Huh? What? What do I do with this grass? And sometimes it's just guiding them a little bit. Like, hey, let's go catch some grasshoppers. Let's look and see what we got under this big rock. And then suddenly their world opens, and then they go. But yeah, sometimes it does take a little bit of prodding because maybe they haven't had that exposure.
I think it's also the freedom, sort of, when you play a lot of video games and everything is digital, there's a lot of instruction. There's a lot of this is the next step or this is what you do. I think when you come for camp, in our case, a lot of it, like you said, is organic in the way that we run our programs. And when kids come, oftentimes they look to us, to say, okay, what instructions or permission to climb a tree. Right. And I think a lot of it is helping them break through some of those boundaries.
What can we learn from nature and how's it essential? We're going to wait for that question in just a second.
On Facebook Live, and also come and see what we are all wearing for this Halloween on our Facebook Live.
Ladies and gentlemen,
here they are.
Good times.
Hello, everybody. Can you see?
Ooh, we got Ting Jin and Joscelin Yo in the studio. Actually, chime on in this morning. There's a chance for you to win a 3-month supply of Suzuki Hokkaido coffee worth $100 from Suzuki Coffee. Do you guys coffee much? Look at Joscelin's face.
Suzuki has coffee?
Yeah. I mean, not the car. This is Suzuki Coffee.
A different thing. Suzuki, I was excited. I was like, wow, they do coffee now.
Well, no one's going to stop you if you want to have the coffee in your Suzuki. Do it. You know what I mean?
I did on the drive-in.
Are you powered by coffee as well?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you, Ting Jin?
Powered by life.
Okay,
you know?
wow, I like that. Spoken like a true champ.
So, guys, we're obviously talking about Into the Wild. That's your amazing adventure for kids, learning about all these skills outside. What can we learn from the wild, and why do you think it's essential for kids to learn about it?
Yeah, I think one thing about the wild is that when we look at these different camps, I mean, the ones that we run, we teach them specific skills like wilderness first aid or survival skills, how you filter water. But I think when you talk about nature and you talk about the wild, it's that unpredictability, right? And I think for us, when kids come through our camps, it really is about preparing them for the unpredictability of life, right?
Right.
You know, we've got camps that, there are volcanoes, tsunamis erupting, and we might not even have those in Singapore.
Right.
But it's that survivor mindset, I think, that we're trying to groom, as opposed to specific, let's walk with 5 skills, right?
Okay.
Almost sounds like a surviving zombie apocalypse kind of situation, like a workshop.
No, but it really is. We've got lots of...
Is there a Halloween special, by the way, coming up?
Surviving the zombie apocalypse.
The
No,
Blair
but
Witch-
that's a
Blair
good
Witch
idea.
Project type of thing?
That's a good idea for next year.
Yeah, fun,
Think about
right?
it.
Yeah, for Halloween.
No, we have a lot of blood and gore at all our camps. Everything we do is real life simulation. Seriously, like the way that we look today, this is literally what camp kids go home looking like from all our camps. And every time they come for camp, they're like, how come everybody gets injured at camp? Because we do a lot of real life simulations. Because a big part of that is unless you've actually dealt with blood and gore and somebody bleeding in the playground, what happens is you freeze, right? As a little kid, you freak out and then you cry and you automatically run and get an adult. But oftentimes you're able to manage that situation on your own, right? And so we teach kids to stay calm, offer comfort, support, and then again, it's stop a bleed, right? And what do you do from there?
So facing these sort of issues and situations.
Exactly. So
I like that.
Yeah, because I got to know Into the Wild because my 2 older boys went for one of their, it's like a one day kind of a 3 hours thing. Best 3 hours of my life. I had the best coffee. It was hot and it stayed hot.
Was it a
while I had
Suzuki
it.
coffee?
It should have been. Should have been a
In sync,
Suzuki
in sync,
coffee.
yeah.
But I'm happy to say that no injuries because I think maybe too short. 4 hours, they couldn't get into that much trouble yet.
No, that was the night one. So
The night
that one, we
one.
left them alone in the jungle with walkie-talkies.
Whoa,
And
really?
then we had our Suzuki coffees and then gave them a map, and said in case of emergencies,
Get your way out of
on the
there.
end of the radio, and
I
then we
like
sent
it.
them off in the jungle at night with headlamps.
My
Dude,
kids loved it.
How old are these kids that they're walking alone in the jungle or the
Yeah.
wild?
7 to 12.
Really?
That's awesome.
Are they truly, truly alone though? Are they?
Actually,
That's the question.
yeah, that we can't. These are trade secrets, Carol,
Yeah.
please respect the process.
They signed an NDA with the things in the jungle. So
With the trees
Hey,
and the bushes.
but my kids, they came back in one piece. No injuries at all. Nothing wrapped up.
no scary stories.
No, they just loved it. They're like, oh,
Yeah,
mommy,
yeah.
and I got a headlamp. And I'm like, no, please don't use that at home.
I feel like you kind of these kids, they open it's a whole new world to them, right? Once they've tried this, there's life beyond screens. I think this is what sounds like. This is the message you want to get across to them, right? Much more to it.
I mean, I think we're not opposed to screens, right? I think that they grew up in this age, and this is a digital age,
Right.
and you can't fight that. But I think there's also life beyond the screens, and what is that, and
Right.
what can you do out there? And I think, like Ting said, it's teaching them unpredictability, like what to do with unpredictability, and helping them expand their horizon in terms of what life can be about, right?
The problem with running camp with Joss is that she comes from this Olympic 4-time, swim background, and then the kids come for camp and she wants to make everything so tough. She's like, no, if they get to the result too quickly, they haven't learned anything about grit or resilience. I'm like, but it needs to be fun, right? And she just pushes the kids, which I think is
Fun?
great.
Fun?
Yeah, exactly.
What's fun? I had
No,
fun
it
once.
needs to be
It was-
life-changing.
But you know something? I mean, gotta give kids credit. They are really resilient as they are, right? So I'm pretty sure that they lapped it all up, right, Joss? You're like,
Yeah.
and I thought this was tough, and the kids are like, more. That was easy. That was a walk in the park.
Oh, they love us. They keep coming back.
They
Ooh,
They
look
really
at
do,
you.
though.
They do.
They're so
Yeah.
cute. They come back and this is like their 3rd, their
Nice.
4th, their 5th camp, and they're like,
Wow.
so that's why we
Regulars.
came up with our wildcard camp. So how that works is it really depends which cards you draw, and it's the roll of a dice, and that's what we run for camp.
I love. So it's that random.
It's that random,
random.
even for us.
Tell
That
us
is so
more
cool.
about that.
Yeah.
We're going to head back on air to find out all about the different causes that are part of Into the Wild. There's one that I do 1 to 10. Will you take me in? I'm 41.
You can be the casualty.
The oldest
Oh, what?
repeat student. Oh. Joscelin Yeo is falling apart on national radio. There's a-
Wait.
Drop something.
There's real. There's
There's
a bit of
you're-
a something on your eyebrow, and
It's
it's
part of the
not
costume. It's
eyebrow
part of the
liner.
outfit.
She's
Is that real?
You're,
Hey, don't. You're making
oh,
us nervous.
no, she's joking.
really?
Look at her. She's
Yeah,
so naughty. She's
Oh
got.
my goodness. Hey, you got us there, man. Seriously.
This is what we do at camp.
Seriously.
Very
the full
good.
time at camp, all we do is this. Beginning to
Very good.
Oh, so it must be very fun for you
Lavinia,
guys.
I totally got you.
You did.
my
No,
God,
That is
totally
good.
got
You guys are
you.
good.
You brought out my
gosh.
motherly instinct. I'm like, hey, I got bluster. Hey.
We are chatting with Zhang Tinjun and Joscelin Yeo from Into the Wild, two women who have founded this amazing program that help kids learn what to do in the wild, survivability. And Joscelin just pulled a Halloween prank on us right here in the studio because it looked like she was being attacked by the headphones, right?
Yeah.
She bends down, she picks something up, and then next thing we know, she's bleeding on the side of her head, but actually it's all just fake blood. Thank you, Joscelin, for the little Halloween morning scare. Now she's wrapping herself up like a mummy. I
She
do not
is
think.
a mummy of 4.
Yeah.
And one in the studio
see
as
what
well.
you did there.
Yes. My goodness, you guys are really embracing this. I love it.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Happy Halloween.
If your Into the Wild program is this fast paced, I can only imagine how the kids struggle to keep up
know.
sometimes. And like, how many of them have been duped by your fake blood?
Oh, it's amazing how
All the
many
time.
times you can dupe them with fake blood. In one, it's like you think that they'd figure it out by the first one, but no, we've got like bee stings, and we've got like all fake bee stings. We've got burns. You know, like you guys have your Suzuki Coffee, our partner Smith and Nephew,
Right.
Because they've got all these bandages. Yeah. For real, so
Oh, brilliant.
for exactly this reason, you know.
This is
because
a very strategic partner you have there.
They
It
came.
sure
They came
is.
prepared. They
Yes.
came prepared.
Oh.
Vials of blood.
And you know what? That vial of fake blood looks like real blood.
It does. What is it?
Well, you'll have to figure it out whether it is.
No, we order these online, Lazada, Taobao. You know,
Oh,
this
no,
is,
no, no.
we've got
No,
endless
no, no.
supplies
This one,
of
this
blood.
one's, this one's
Oh,
Real.
magic
Yeah.
potion. This one was real.
magic
Oh,
potion.
Sometimes we just draw our own blood and we're like,
Yeah.
running low. It just
So can you tell us
sticks blood bank.
really quickly? Currently, you've got 6 different, wilderness causes. The one that I want to go for is the Ocean Survival Camp.
Ooh,
Can I not?
yeah.
Yeah, no, we like that one too.
I like to think I am 12.
No, we run stuff for adults. It's just not as fun. Well, then again, no, actually, sometimes it's really
Wow.
fun. because-
Stabbed in the
Maybe
heart.
there's a
Yes,
couple of
it's-
drinks involved.
Selling it really well, Ting.
No, you know what? We don't like to sell things. People, if they want to come, they come. There's no hard selling here. We just tell it like it is. But no, our adult ones are actually really fun. And sometimes there is alcohol involved, sometimes there isn't. People use it like they're like, hey, I want my birthday to be a birthday camp with Into the Wild. No, that's what my sister
a
did.
good
It was so
idea.
much fun, even for
Okay.
us running it, right, Joss?
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Talk
Yeah,
about
they-
Ocean Camp.
Ocean Camp, I think, is our newest camp, and we do a lot of ocean survival. But then also because we are more first aid based, so we do teach them what happens. If there's envenomation, whether you're stung by a jellyfish or you step on a sea urchin or
Tell me,
a rockfish or whatever.
Jellyfish, is the pee thing true? It is?
Well, actually,
Vinegar is better.
It's
Yeah,
the,
vinegar,
it's the
it's
acid
the-
in the pee. Yeah.
But some people say if you can't, because nobody goes swimming with vinegar, right? Can you really use vinegar? Pee?
okay, so there are two schools of thought. One definitely is pee, and there's no harm. So if I got stung, I'd pee on myself anyway, just to
Just
cover
right.
that base,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But it's definitely vinegar that we'd recommend, and then you want to remove the tentacles. So don't use your fingers to remove the tentacles,
Yes.
right? Because
Yes.
of course then you sting yourself more.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
firstly, it's common sense. But
It
you
is, it
use like
is.
tweezers. If you don't have tweezers, you could use a towel, for example.
good
So you want to
idea.
get those tentacles off.
Okay. If
With
not,
the
they'll keep on
stingray
swimming.
envenomation, you want to get that in like warm water.
Yes.
It actually helps to break down some of that,
Yeah.
that venom.
I think by instinct, a lot of people just try and splash on some seawater, which is a huge mistake.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh no.
No.
It's
That's
okay?
okay. Yeah,
Oh,
no, that's
really?
fine. It's actually not a
Ah.
mistake at all. The
okay,
first thing you
okay.
flush with is actually
Seawater.
seawater.
Rather than
Yeah.
water, maybe water is the one that's
Is
not
it
good.
water?
She's trying
the
to
one?
trick us by not knowing things so she can come to camp.
No,
Clever.
Okay, you can be an
like
intern.
it.
How about that?
Okay. We're going to head on to Facebook Live and ask some more burning survival questions to Ting as well as Joscelin. Please do join us, facebook.com/1FM913.
Good morning. Nice to see you.
Hey, everybody. Happy Halloween.
I feel like we graduated already from the course. Because now we know what to do.
Please, that's nothing.
Oh,
There's
really?
like a million more stuff. You know, the snake bites. We have everything.
Wow.
In the
Okay.
interim, of course, Jocelyn Yeo has had a severe accident, and she's like, "No, I'm just going to power through. I'm just going to bandage my head. I've got blood everywhere, but it's fine."
She did it by herself.
Yes.
Resilience,
Self-inflicted.
guys. Grit.
Now, I must say that bandage is rather fashionable.
Yes.
Very
Like it?
well. I
Kinda
love
great.
it. Yes.
It's a thing. It's a new
It's
thing
a
now.
fashionista
Ecru,
approved.
in
Yes.
Ecru,
right.
you see the shade Ecru is in this season, darling. Yes, absolutely on point.
Here's the thing. I do think, and I speak, of myself as well, that we have gotten pretty soft here in Singapore. We're so used to all our city comforts and everything. I mean, I don't even know if there's a wild part in Singapore we can explore. Would you recommend that we explore the wild? Because you did that both with your nieces, your nephews, your own kids. Should we just head up into the wild and explore it on our own?
I would say yes. I mean,
Why not?
well, there's like in parks and all that, there's like certain areas you can and cannot explore and stuff.
Yeah.
But I would say in general in Singapore, actually, we're really lucky. In a lot of countries, if you live in the heart of New York City, for example, and you wanted to go out into the wild, you have to drive a few hours to get there.
Or go to Central Park.
Or go to Central Park. There you
Yeah.
go. That's pretty wild, actually.
Yeah.
different kind of wild.
Different kind of wild. Depends on what time of the day it is. Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, in Singapore, we're so lucky. We really do have green spaces. We've got lots of wildlife, from snakes to wild boars to otters. I think the main thing is before you go out and explore the wild, I think it's good to do that responsibly, right? One
Sure.
is, can you look after yourself? Do you know what to do? One, if you get injured, do you know what to do if you come across these wild animals to safely navigate that encounter,
Yeah.
as opposed to then come back, post and say an otter bit you? I mean, did you contribute to getting bitten? Probably, right?
No.
So how do we come on,
All I
Carol.
said was you're so cute.
Exactly. You're not supposed to approach the otters and don't tickle them, right? So
Yeah.
sometimes
selfie.
yeah.
Carol,
And then I walk my dog. Yeah.
the otter's like, I'm a manly otter. How dare you say I'm cute?
I don't know.
I bite you.
I love you.
Okay.
We had a campaign that lasted a whole day for the crocodile.
Look at that level of commitment.
Unfortunately he got put down before. The crocodile that was
Yeah,
found
yeah,
in the
yeah,
East
yeah.
Coast. Yeah. I mean, I thought that was fascinating. I know the kids would love that. I mean, from a safe distance. But look, there's lots of great places here in Singapore. But have you guys thought about, do we take into the wild regionally, or do we take them on field trips outside, or is it always contained?
Well, right now we're just local here
Okay.
in Singapore, but we have had interest for us to
I
take
bet.
it overseas.
Sure.
Into different parts. Yeah.
Okay.
The region. And beyond. So I think it's something we're considering, we're thinking about, but
We're coming to
not sure
terms with
yet.
that.
Yeah, we're coming to terms
Earlier you
with
were
that.
talking about that restaurant that charged 50 USD, for kids. I
Yes.
feel like we should charge extra to run camps for kids as well.
No, of course.
So if you want an overnight camp, it's like 5 times the price because
Ooh.
it's
It's a
a
lot.
different level, and it's not
Yeah.
actually the kids. Sometimes it's the parents, because the parents sometimes it's true. They send their kids for camp, and then they say, "Can we stay for camp?" And just to make sure that our kids are okay
Excuse
and
me?
to watch, right? So sometimes
Oh.
it's also telling parents like you got to give your kids the space to be independent, right?
Isn't that the whole
I'm looking-
point?
Yeah, Lavinia.
No,
wow.
actually,
Did
I'm-
you-
I'm
was
not-
your coffee next to our
No,
campsite? Look at that guilty face.
I was like, hey, come on, move on. Just go into the
Yeah, I'd
wild
be the
now."
opposite.
So
I'd
me
be
and my
like,
husband were
"See ya."
standing there, we're like, can we go into our car now? We were like inching towards our car. We are the parents that are happy to like take my money and take my kids.
Yes. Yes.
We definitely have those, but we also have a lot of parents who want to come for camp, but because they want to be looking after their kid and making sure that their kid is okay.
Yeah.
But that
Okay.
defeats the whole purpose.
Yeah. So it's an interesting one, but I think once they do see that what their kids are capable of,
Yeah.
they're often surprised themselves.
Well, I'm sure when the kid comes back and relates to them what they've done, then they're like, oh, okay. Now, maybe then also the parent-child relationship also starts to evolve.
Yeah.
Can you guys share with us some stories from your time with the kids in a while? Like
Yeah.
anything funny, crazy, surprising, scary?
Do you need me to take this? Joss needs some time to think usually.
Yeah.
Well, she had a
Too
head
many.
injury.
Yeah.
Serious
I
head
have
injury.
head injury,
injury.
Yeah,
guys.
she needs some time.
A lot of time in the
Head
water
injury.
as well.
I know.
It's kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, what's funny? So we have our ocean camp coming up. I'll get back to your question. Don't worry.
Okay.
But so Joss, who's been to the Olympics 4 times for swimming, has just completed her lifeguard certification.
Oh, yay.
course.
Well done.
One of the things we do teach kids, on our ocean survival camp is
Really
how
good.
you recognize a swimmer in distress, how you respond to that.
So you teach the kids how to do the life saving as well,
No, we don't.
because that's a bit.
basic level.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's more of knowing how to recognize somebody who's
Okay, and then
distressed.
alerting
And
or-
then,
okay, okay.
what are some of the basic things that you can do without getting yourself in trouble.
Right,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah. Oh, I thought of something very funny from camp, but I don't know if I can say it. Let me ask Joss. Armpit hair one.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Armpit
Okay,
hair,
why
you
not?
said
Did
it.
I?
Well, armpit hair. I heard armpit hair.
Well, we heard it. Now you got to tell it.
that was really funny.
It was
Okay.
funny. So in our first aid kit that we give the kids, right? There's like a little pair of scissors that comes in there. It's like to cut your crepe bandage maybe.
Yes.
Or,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then this little kid, because at camp you earn your own first aid kit, and it's an adult first aid kit.
You
so
earn it.
everything you earn
Okay.
it. So you have to go through all your different challenges,
Yeah.
responding to different,
Emergencies.
simulations and
Yeah.
emergencies. And at the end of your wilderness survival challenge, you earn a first aid kit. It's this
Cool.
coveted,
Ultimate wilderness survival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this little kid opens it and then she takes out this little pair of scissors and she says, "Oh, I also have this at home. My mommy uses this to cut her armpit hair."
I love it.
Yeah, but we had to. We were like,
We tried to keep a straight face, and then we tried to ignore her and like carry on, and then she said it again like we
Again?
didn't hear her. You know, right? My mommy, I have this. My mommy uses it to cut her armpit hair.
So when her mom came to pick her up,
We couldn't
All
look
of
at her
you
mom.
were like,
we couldn't
Eye
look at her
contact.
mom in the eye. We were like, oh boy.
dear. Oh dear.
We'll just leave it at that one story.
I love that. I
We
love
crossed the
that.
line already.
No. I
That
mean,
really is the wilderness up there in the armpits, I guess.
Oh my gosh.
This is true.
Speak for yourself, Shehzad. We're ladies. Armpit, what? We smell like
I
roses.
got no
down there.
hair, so I can say it all. It's fine.
Yeah, that's exactly how our armpits look. Like your head.
We'll go with that. We'll go with that.
Hey, but for both of these incredible ladies, you have a whole wealth of experience, in emergency situations for yourself, Ting, being out there in the wild. We're going to jump back on air in just a bit to share some of these personal wild adventures and also, where we can find you for Into the Wild. School holidays are coming up. We've got some great programs you have to share with everyone that their kids can jump on board. So let's discuss this. Have a think about it. What's a personal wild adventure that sticks to your mind? The armpit hair, I know.
That image is very hard to wipe from your mind. Though.
Just a
Once
little
you-
bit. Just a little bit.
There you go.
Hey, don't. All right, heading back on air on 1FM 91.3.
And a half.
Alrighty, we are in the studio here with the two founders of Into the Wild. We've got Ting as well as Joscelin. You look good, lah. Those bandages are very, very fashionably done. Yes. I want to get injured in front of her, because she's going to wrap me up nice and fashionably. Yes, so we're here to talk about Into the Wild, 6 great programs, and school holidays are coming up soon. Is there a program, something special for this school holiday you want everyone to know about that kids can jump on board for?
Well, our Ocean Survival Camp is our latest camp, and that one's really special. We take the kids almost the entire day, and we do teach them a whole variety of stuff. And I think that really combines both like the first aid as well as other survival life-saving things that we don't teach in our other camps. And it's very different in terms of environment.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not jungle. This is really out by the beach on the ocean, and so that's quite fun.
Where'd you guys go? Sorry, if you don't mind me asking, for the ocean survival?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're out at like St. John's and Kusu.
Okay. Oh wow.
Nice.
Nice.
And it's quite nice and not crowded, not too crowded over there.
And they get in the
so-
water and all that. Okay. And is it quite clear out there? I haven't been there in a long
Yeah,
time.
it's pretty clear. It's
Okay,
pretty
cool.
clear.
Nice.
You don't get as much trash floating in there, which is kind of nice.
Yeah. Oil
Yeah.
tankers, always love an oil tanker on my horizon. Love it. Yeah.
And then we've got Girl Squad Camp, which is quite special for
Girl
us
Squad
as well.
Camp.
What's
yeah.
that
Okay, what's
about?
that?
Yeah, so Girl Squad Camp is just for girls, and I think the idea behind that again was slightly different, where we looked to combine our experiences and our life experiences and hope to inspire other girls to, be what they want to be, and not have to feel like they have to conform or fit into a certain mold.
I was just going to say,
I like
you
that.
guys inspire me so much because you're two women, using your life experiences to teach other kids about, survivability in the wild. And it's not often that you see that, most of my OBS instructors outward bound were all guys, so it's nice to see like two strong, confident women taking control of the unknown in the wild, in the jungles here in Singapore. Thank you so
Very,
much for
very
doing
good
that.
point.
I think you're championing a new thing here. On a very separate note, Gurmit says, is there a mall optimization course for adults?
Mall
Mall optimization.
Mall
like
optimization.
A shopping mall
yeah,
optimi-
it can get wild. Okay, Gurmit, that question is for me and Levy, okay? We will help
Yeah,
you through
yeah.
that.
during Great
These two
Singapore
will take you
Sale.
through
Yes.
the paces.
I have
yeah.
mall GPS, don't worry. Don't worry.
We know where the AEDs would be in a mall.
there you go.
There you go.
Yeah, so
Always good to
there
know.
is actually. You'd be surprised. When I was working with the SCDF for 995, there's a lot of stuff that goes down in a mall. Remember? Which mall was it? Next was it when they were watching a movie in the movie theater and half the ceiling fell down?
Oh.
So his
So you
question,
responded.
Gurmit, is not wrong, Carol.
Oh, okay,
Don't
okay.
dismiss your listeners. He has a point.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe-
Survival in a mall. It's a
an
thing.
urban
Yeah.
setting, that's why when we talk about resilience and we talk about Singapore, it's not just disasters that we have seen happen, but we live in a changing time. Right?
Yeah.
When you
Yeah.
talk about, terrorism, when you talk about, what's been going down in a lot of these other cities, right, where you wouldn't have expected it,
Yeah.
just across the border and even beyond, right? You talk about Paris, you talk about London, any major city now would have seen some level
Yeah.
of danger within an urban setting. And I
Yes,
think
yes.
sometimes in Singapore we leave that to the government or we're lulled into this false sense of security.
Sure.
We do kind of have this bubble feeling here in
Yeah,
Singapore
but
that's
I-
all safe and hunky-dory.
But I think it's everybody's responsibility to be looking out
Yeah.
for each other, and it isn't just in the wild.
You know something? This happens quite a bit when we have guests for the Brightside interviews. We always help them with new business ideas. Here's what I propose: a city survival camp,
It's not a bad idea.
mall survival camp.
Concrete
Mall
jungle
survival.
survival or something.
Yep.
And we'll credit that to Gurmit.
Yes. Yes.
Good man,
Yes.
good man.
Can.
He could be a first customer.
And increase the age, the max age, to 41, so I can join.
Look at the ideas, just paintings coming up.
We've got a message here from Mrs. X who says, I don't need the scissors anymore. Just saying. She said just saying. That's all. Hashtag just saying. Yeah.
So where can we find out more about Into the Wild? Share with us your website, social media.
So you can find us on social media at Into the Wild Camps, or our website is intothewild.world.
Oh,
Nice.
We have one more task for you.
Okay, so we're gonna launch into a little game, and we need your help. And because it's Halloween, we need your spookiest laugh. Shehzad has volunteered, obviously, to be the judge. Okay, so who's got the spookiest laugh? We're gonna.
No,
open
everyone
this
has to go.
draw.
Everyone has to go.
Everyone
right?
has to go, but our Brightside buddies can also send in a voice note with their spookiest laugh to win a prize this morning.
What is the prize?
Suzuki coffee.
Oh, right, of course.
Of course.
More
Of course.
Suzuki coffee.
Okay.
Nice. All right, who wants to go first?
Who wants to go first?
You mean we're not on the same team?
Yeah.
No,
we-
every
One by one.
Yeah,
This is
you-
individual.
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 not
It's everyone
team.
for
All right,
themselves.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Despite the head injury.
Just
We'd
imagine
like to hear.
it's gonna score you survival coffee, all right? So you need this. There's a lot hinging on this.
Maniacal.
Oh, she's warming up, dude.
No. Okay, that's a warm up. So we'll start now.
That's Jocelyn, by the way. Jocelyn, yo.
She sounds like Count Dracula. So
Yeah.
Sesame Street.
12.
With kids too much. No.
That's pretty spooky.
No.
Not bad, not bad.
Or is there a listener?
Ting wasn't very impressed
No,
with that.
Okay,
Carol.
the Shehzometer, what's that out of 10?
I'm
That's
not-
about a 5, 6,
I'm
6,
not
6,
even at a 5.
6, 6.
Go.
I'll give you
Alright,
6.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay,
Go.
go Ting.
I'm not done. How's that?
Wait. And then, okay.
No, because if I'm coming off as radio, I know time is short, but I wasn't finished and I didn't want to have it.
Okay.
Okay.
We're going with the deep, low, sort of measured. We need to go a little unmeasured. These two.
Hysterical cackle, that's you, Carol.
Go. What?
What's going on here?
Oh, you sound like somebody set out a frog.
That was it.
She loses. Levy, your turn.
Okay.
Do we need to have a I think we're all in consensus here.
All right, we have a winner.
Thank
Carol.
you. Thank you. Yes.
The masterpiece
I
has
have a crazy
won.
laugh every
Alrighty.
day. You have to do the
So,
opposite.
guys, send us your maniacal, scary, spooky laughs via voice note to WhatsApp 88550-913. Thank you so much to Ting and Joscelin for joining
Guys,
us
it's
here.
been really a lot of fun. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Good times.